I'm choosing the people to analyze in these facial expression and gesture videos because of people that strike me, though because I come across people that strike me as wanting to project a certain energy that may be not necessarily what they really are or what they have, or maybe it's an interesting person, or maybe it's a famous person, or maybe it's just a random person I come across that I think has unique facial expressions. Now, in the case of this person, um, I like to analyze people that make money, make a career, make a life from social systems because I feel it's a very dishonest thing to do, like politics and stuff like that. I feel that we need to be aware of these people and not continuously fall into traps of um, interacting and engaging these people in the way that they want you to, right? So this lady, her name is Karen Hunter. She wrote a book called "Stop Being Niggardly," and it had some kind of subtext about black people doing better or something like that. So she's obviously one of these people who believes that she's black and that there are white people, which means that she also believes in all these flags and nationalities. She's part of the whole system, the whole shebang. And I wanted to analyze her because what she portrays herself to be is completely transparent. You can see through it. You can see it's a facade. Now, she reminds me, we're going to get right into this because I don't want to spend a lot of time on this person. She's not particularly interesting or profound. She looks to me in this photo like Ayim Pius Ayim, who I recently did. I don't know how recently, I'm not sure when I'm going to post this, but I've already analyzed. Very dishonest about who she is, how she feels. I get the idea that her personality is inherited from someone she feels has power, probably some tyrant. I don't think it's that difficult to look at this person and see where I'm getting this from. Strong eye contact. There's a complete lack of femininity, and I don't mean that in any kind of sexual way. I mean that just in her energy. This is the way a guy looks at you when he thinks he can whoop your ass. And or he thinks he knows something about you that you don't know he knows. And he just doesn't really think anything of you. He thinks he has you in the palm of his hand. He can get you to do whatever he wants you to do. Well, let's read this. Let's just read this. The subtext for this is for the back of the book. Stop being niggardly. Okay. Don Armas called the Rutgers women's basketball team a bunch of nappy-headed hoes, and America lost its mind. If black people concerned themselves with making sure their neighborhoods were safe, their children were educated, that their businesses thrived, instead of allowing people from other communities to come in and get rich, if black people worried more about the sticks and stones instead of the names they were called, perhaps they would be farther along. I mean, this is like, she's just copying the character called Malcolm X, who also is a copy of Elijah Muhammad. Everybody in the Nation of Islam gets their personality now from Louis Farrakhan, but Louis Farrakhan got his personality and his teachings and his information from Elijah Muhammad. So there's really only one person in that organization, and it's important to understand where this energy comes from. Now, she has a look like Malcolm X, right? And Malcolm X was, he was a false character. That's why he kind of came apart at the end of his life there, right? But let's not get too far into that. Let's just focus on the facial expressions and gestures, okay? So let's move on to the next one. Jeez. So in this photo, like the last one, she is attempting. She wants to lead so-called black people, the people that she's accepted that she's part of and that they exist in. You know, that they should be in this group or whatever. She wants to lead that group of people, and she thinks that she's doing good. But in her appearance, deep down, she wants to be part of that white group. And in order to be part of that white group, you have to look a certain way. Now, I'm sure you can see what I'm talking about at this point. Her hair does not grow out of her head like this. There's an arduous process that has to take place in order for her to do her hair like this. Her hair grows kinky curly, as we might say. She has to either burn it. She's not wearing a wig, but sometimes they wear wigs. A lot of times they wear wigs. Or she has to go through this blowout process, which also involves heat and time and curling and pressing and all this type of stuff. So it's not as aggressive, I think, as like a hot comb or whatever. But it's still to achieve a look that's not what you are. And if you cover her mouth, this is something I always like to do. If you cover her mouth and her nose, it looks like she's about to cry, right? If you cover her mouth and her nose, she looks like she's very passionate, but more than anger or determination, you see fear, you see desperation, and she looks like she's about to break down. And she uses this desperation to direct at these different groups, mostly black people, because she's probably scared that if she directs it at the so-called white people, she'll be ostracized from the group. So yes, she's talking. I feel like she never stops talking, and she's being dishonest about what she wants and who she is, and it's all in her everything. Let's go on another picture. Okay, she's a little older here. She wrote that book, I think, 10, 12 years ago, 2009, 2010, 2011, sometime around then. Here, she's talking again. She's figured out a bit more how to deal with her hair, but she still does not necessarily want it to be how it is. And this is not just a female thing. I was walking down the street the other day. I'm in Philly, which is a very so-called black city. And I was walking down the street the other day with my natural beard, my natural hair. And I'm balding a little bit, but I mean, I look great. My hair is clean and fresh. And got a little gray in my beard. But this guy, there's other people on the street, he flags me down as I walk past and says, "Hey, you want a haircut?" This and that. I'm like, "Yeah, thanks, maybe another day." I'm not going to go back there. I don't want a haircut. I cut my own hair. I'm not going to pay you $25. No. But men do this too. They don't want to let their natural hair be what it is. And a lot of times they blame it on not being accepted and this and that, but it's up to you to accept yourself before other people accept you. So this person is trying to get past that. She's probably been criticized, and yeah, she may be trying to get past that, but she's still not there yet. She's glued her hair to her head with some kind of pomade or wave cream. I don't know. I don't know what these products are, what they're called. I just see the words. I used to use with Sporting Waves and stuff when I was younger, Dax or something. But yeah, she's stuck her hair to her head to kind of hide those curls, those naps, and this is her new look. Now, she's holding her hands in a very manly way. She's crossing her legs, but it seems like she's still crossing her legs kind of like a man. I can't imagine that this person interacts with men very peacefully. She's dressed like a man to some degree. She just doesn't seem like a pleasant person. She seems like a person who has to be right. Now, if you cover her mouth again and look at her eyes, she still looks like she's gonna cry. Almost every picture, she looks like she's about to cry. You can see the desperation. It stinks on her, you know. Now she has some lipstick, a little bit in this, but that feminine type of thing where she's thinned her eyebrows. She's got some little eyeshadow on, maybe some eyeliner, or you could mascara. That's what it's called. She's got some lipstick on. That's just a social thing. It's part of the deception. Very much like Lael Brainerd. Everything is a competition. All right, let's move on. Oh my God, this is a masculine figure. Once again, cover her mouth and her nose. She looks like she's about to cry. If you cover her eyes in most of these pictures, she looks like a straight up man, which is not a good sign because she's not a man. Now she's wearing a suit. Oh goodness. She's got books behind her. Her shoulders look, I don't know, I mean, it's just not an interesting person. She looks like a person who's trying to present a man image. She may be in a lesbian relationship. I don't know, that's fine. People want to do what they do. But a lot of times, the dominant aspect, the person that's taking the so-called masculine role starts to look like this. Okay. She's still doing that to her hair. And it's very bad for your hair to put these chemicals, to go through these processes, to do the hot comb thing, to do the blowout thing constantly. A lot of times you can recognize a so-called black woman. You can look this up by the damage on her skull and scalp if she's when she dies. If they don't know what the body is due to decomposition or whatever, they can tell a lot of times. They can get a clue into the race by the damage to the scalp. Look it up. Now here, she's trying her best to look feminine. Maybe as she gets older, she's trying, but see, the spirit radiates outward. So, especially as a person gets older, they can't really hide who they are unless they change the inside. Okay, here she is with another imposter. And this guy, it's interesting, I won't talk too much about him, but it's a semi-hairless cat. But although he does keep his regular hair, he gets his hair cut in a way that still mimics that childish type of thing. You know, the sharp goatee look, the edged hairline. He's trying to hide himself. I mean, he's pushed his hairline so back to hide his baldness. But let's look at the lady, the female, the woman, whatever you want to call this person. Can't see her eyes. She's talking again. I think she might have a talk show, maybe on Sirius. I don't know. Her posture is never feminine, even though she's wearing pink, because she's aware that she's not feminine, and she regrets it. But she does not want to give up the pretension of power. So she's wearing pink, even though she's not feminine. She's laying her hair down through some kind of process, taking out the naps, even though she's not a Caucasian woman. People portray what they want to be rather than what they are, a lot of times when they don't like what they are. And they'll throw you under the bus, they'll throw themselves under the bus. Now she's got her breasts out, and women who keep their breasts out like that, it's manipulation. It's sexual. Now, she's not attractive at all, but a person that has their breasts out, it's just what it is. If a man is walking around with his butt cheeks out, even when a plumber is bending over and his disgusting butt crack is showing, you're gonna look at his butt crack. It's what it is. You're gonna look at it. It's gonna be like, oh, it's nasty. It's butt crap. That's how I feel about her breasts. Put those things away. Oof. All right. So here, I know a lot of women who look like this. I've seen this look a lot. It's a very desperate, manipulative, ugh, terrible look to have. Um, so maybe she's coming into accepting her hair. You can see what her real hair looks like, right? At the bottom there. That's what her real hair looks like. I don't know if she'll ever get to the point where she'll be comfortable with who she is, even though she pretends to be comfortable enough to give everyone else advice on what they should do to be a so-called black person and all this type of thing. But you can see if you look at her roots of her hair, how her hair actually looks compared to this. You know? It's very strange. A lot of these social standards are very strange. Now, it's a nice, I like the clothing, the blouse, whatever it is. As far as the way she's styled, and maybe she's gotten better at this. She looks nice. Now, she still won't accept her hair. And a lot of times these women will say, oh, we can wear our hair in different ways. That's one of the things about us that makes us special and all this, you know. But, you know, if a so-called white woman or a so-called Asian woman could also make their hair basically just as frizzy, just as curly as yours to look like an afro, like very tight 4C curls, naps. But, and I've seen Japanese people go through this process and do it successfully. But it looks very strange. But see, no one tells so-called black people that it looks strange because of historical reasons, which I understand. I understand why people do this, why they feel self-conscious about themselves. I don't. Never have. But I understand what everybody's not strong. Everybody doesn't love themselves. Everybody hasn't gone through enough things to really have that confidence. And inevitably, this is a person who has no confidence. People don't look like this into a camera when they have confidence. Very unpleasant person to look at. Now here is a little bit more of an honest picture. I think this is probably from the same period, maybe a later period, where she's trying to come to terms with herself. Maybe she's being a little bit more honest, but at the same time, the road to freedom wielding black political power, she still is into this whole black thing, the color-coded identity thing, which is very sad when a person lives for 50 years or so and they're still into that. You know, I'm only 37 and I've been out of that for several years now, maybe like 5 years almost. And it makes you feel really good when you're not beholden to groups, to group identities, group thinking. When you don't find safety in groups, you know, all the most beautiful, most valiant, most impressive animals, to me, are ones who live not necessarily solitary lifestyles because they have to gather with others to continue their species, but ones that live a firmly independent lifestyle. And people like this speak about independence a lot, but there's really no independence. Now, her eyes look a little bit more honest. And it's kind of like with her hair. Her hair looks a little bit more honest. But still, not really wanting to let go of the false identity. Not wanting to stand on her own. And it's funny because I'm not sure who the person on her shirt is, but I think it might be Ida B. Wells. I don't want to put too many names out there, but I've seen that picture before. I can notice it just by the t-shirt. But she has on a t-shirt and a blazer. Looks like it is a woman's blazer. I can't really tell. But it might be a man's blazer. It doesn't fit very well. And even though it's pink, once again, and her lips are painted, and her eyes have this little eyeshadow, and her lips are thin. Eyebrows are thin, manicured, um, shaped, maybe not manicured. She still seems masculine. This isn't a person that a proper man could get along with, you know. And the more you look into her eyes, the more aggressive she seems. And for what? Oh, goodness. Now, this is the type of man that will get along with this type of woman, because he looks very extremely feminine. And he's going to be confident because amongst so-called black people, men have the less feminine, the less masculine energy, right? So he feels self-conscious about the fact that he's losing his hair, right? So he shaves his hair off every day. He's not necessarily a hairless cat, but he is, I don't know, a maneless lion. And although he has a beard, it's sculpted like as a woman would. This is the way a woman wants you to sculpt your beard. Right? It's edged up. You know, he's smiling with all his teeth. Really, it's really an abrasive way for a man to be. Seriously. And this is the type of man that could get along with this woman. Now here she is again, starting to come to terms with her hair, but I don't think she's going to get any further than this, because diving into the real identity of yourself, standing alone in who you really are, it's difficult for somebody like this. So if you look at her eyes now, they look tired. I think this is as far as her development's going to go. At this point, she's just going to start getting old. She's going to start looking older and older and older. Looks like she may be taking care of her hair, and she won't lose her hair like a lot of so-called black women do. But she's got a rough go. Here's Ben Carson, another person who fancies himself exceptional, especially amongst black people. He likes to tell black people things about themselves. And I don't know. These people, they don't seem like they have much, I don't know, soul. I hate to use such stereotypical words, but I mean, it is what it is. I've been around a lot. I mean, I grew up around this particular community, and these personalities are very familiar, but they aren't the beautiful heart of the community. And I'm not talking about people that sing and dance, or athletes that may be considered to be more popular in the Harvard community. I'm talking about the real people who are concerned with others around them. They don't have this type of vibe. So these people are completely performative. We know Ben Carson is a person who wants to be president, and he's writing books talking about a more perfect union, and it's very strange behavior. I think I'm almost done. Oh my God, thank you. This is the last photo. Yeah, I know this one. I did this right away when I saw this person, because I had never seen this person until about maybe 30 minutes ago. And I saw that book, and I was a bit annoyed. And when I saw this person, I recognized it as such a common personality amongst this particular group of people right now. The one on the right is to Ben Carson. Maybe we'll do one about him, because it's a very growing personality too. But yeah, I hope you had a great day. I'm gonna go to sleep.